Hi soul travelers, and welcome back to another video. It's Medusa, and today we are talking about the astrological symbols, specifically the zodiac. If you're new to this channel, in the previous video we talked about the astrological signs in correlation to the planets. So if you're interested and you're wanting to learn how to better remember learning the symbols in astrology, I will put the link below in the description for that video. But today we are talking about the astrological signs, specifically the Zodiac Wheel. So let's get into it. The first sign on the Zodiac Wheel is the Aries, which is a fire sign. That will be the first fire sign out of the 3 fire signs. So, within the zodiac wheel, each zodiac has its own element as well, and there are 3 zodiacs per element. So the elements are fire, water, earth, and air, and there will be 3 signs that correlate with each. So for Aries, it's the ram. One way that we can remember the astrological sign for Aries is Ram, is remembering that it is a fire sign. And fire signs, we can think of that drive, that fire that's within us as well. And if you think of the animal, the ram, they are known for a little bit of fire in their temperament. So if you think of rams, horns, butting heads, something that they do a lot of times in nature. Thinking of the temperament of the ram, of the animal, how it's a fiery sign, and that is how you get the astrological ram sign for Aries. Next, we have Taurus, which is known as the bull. So Taurus is a earth element. So if we have the astrological sign of Taurus, and we can correlate it to the animal sign of it being a bull. And what I like to think of is how strong a bull is, how weighty they are. They're very grounded. They're very aware. So thinking of the earth sign in Taurus, thinking of how it has horns on a bull, the astrological sign is just like that with horns for Taurus. Next, we have Gemini, and Gemini is my sign. That is my sun sign. And with Gemini, we have the twins. So for the Gemini sign, a lot of people correlate the yin and the yang. So having these dualistic personality traits or dualistic energies within a person. Just like how twins means 2, that is also what the astrological sign is as well. So if we remember that there is that dualistic nature, that dualistic energy within the Gemini, there are 2 of them, twins meaning 2, and that is also the astrological sign for Gemini. Next, we have Cancer, which is a water sign, and with it being a water sign, we have the astrological symbol of Cancer. And how we talked about the yin and the yang in Gemini, I like to think of the Cancer sign as sometimes how you would see the yin and yang sign, which is 2 fish or 2 shrimp. So with the Cancer sign, with it being a water element sign as well, we can think of yin and yang as an example with 2 fish, or we can just think of 2 fish in general, or we can think of shrimp. And then looking at the astrological sign, you can see how it correlates as well. So Cancer being a water sign, thinking of how it kind of looks like 2 fish coming together, and that is the astrological sign for Cancer. Next, we have the mighty Leo lion, another fire sign. So with the fire sign, with Leo, it's a lot about courage and confidence in our actions as well. So how I like to think of the Leo sign, thinking of how the astrological symbol looks, it almost looks like a small head and a big mane behind it. Kind of what it looks like for the lion as well in the Leo sign. So if we think of how a lion looks, for Leo, and then we look at how the astrological sign looks, again, you can almost see how it looks like a little head with its own big mane kind of trailing behind it. And that's how we can remember the powerful, fiery sign of Leo. Next, we have the earth sign of Virgo. So Virgo is known as the maiden. So if we look at the astrological symbol for Virgo, it looks like a big M with a little extra at the end. So if we're wanting to remember the astrological sign for Virgo, we can remember that it is a maiden, which starts with the letter M, and that it's also known as the Virgin as well. So remembering for Virgo, we have maiden, we have virgin, and if we take those two letters, we have this symbol. Next, we have the air sign of Libra, and Libra is all about balance. So if we've ever seen this sign before, the scale for Libra, then we see the astrological sign for Libra, it looks like the scale as well. So if we were to take the astrological sign of Libra and take the bottom line and make it more horizontal, it looks exactly like the scale for Libra. So remembering that Libra being an air sign, it's all about balance, and that the astrological sign for Libra is similar to the scale as well. Next, we have Scorpio. And thinking of the word Scorpio, you may think that it is a fire sign, but it's actually a water sign. So with Scorpio, it's pretty straightforward of how we can remember this sign. So if you look at how a scorpion looks, we have the tail of the scorpion, the little pincer parts. And then if you look at the astrological sign for Scorpio, you can see that it too has a little tail, a little pincer parts. So if you can remember how a scorpion looks for Scorpio, and then remember that its astrological sign has a little tail as well, that's a really great way to remember the astrological sign of Scorpio. Next up, we have Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is a really interesting one. It is based off of a centaur. So if we understand that Sagittarius is another fire sign, and that centaurs were warriors, they are very passionate beings, and they are very loyal as well. So remembering that centaurs are warriors that hold bows and arrows. And what is the astrological sign for Sagittarius? It's an arrow. So that's a really simple way to remember Sagittarius. We had a ram, we had a bull, now we have a sea goat. That's the sign of Capricorn. How on earth do we learn this sign? So Capricorn is the sea goat. What is a sea goat? We'll talk about that maybe in a later video. But if you see what the sea goat looks like for Capricorn, this is our earth sign. Even though it's a sea goat, don't think too much into it. How can you remember the astrological sign for Capricorn, our earth sign? Look at the sea goat, okay? So we've got horns, we've got a little fishy tail. If you look at the astrological sign, you can kind of see the horns as well as some kind of fishy tail. So if you look at the celestial or animal being that it's represented by, then you can kind of see it in the astrological sign as well. So we have sea goats for the earth sign of Capricorn. We can see the representation within the astrological sign. Next, we have Aquarius. And this is the astrological sign. It looks like water. So what elemental sign is it? You guessed it. It's air. So these signs can sometimes look like they're all over the place with their positions, but Aquarius is an air elemental sign. So it looks like rivers of water, but with Aquarius, the symbol behind it is a flowing pitcher of water. The water flows out of the vase in the Aquarius sign, aqua, And then we have the astrological sign that looks like ripples in water. Remembering that Aquarius is an air sign that is represented by a vase of flowing water, and that the astrological sign looks like ripples of water. Our last sign is Pisces, which ends our water signs as well. So we talked about Cancer, and the analogy that I gave was to think of kind of that yin and yang again with two fish. So with Pisces, the symbol is actually two fish. But with the astrological symbol, it's kind of hard to take two fish and then get it to come to this. So what I like to think of when it comes to the Pisces symbol, since it is represented by water and by fish, is thinking as the Pisces symbol as a hook, something that you would use to maybe catch the fish. Thinking of how Pisces is a water sign, thinking of the two fish, and thinking of how you need a hook to get fish. That's it for this video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I'll be linking the previous video where we did a deep dive into the astrological signs of the planets. So if you want to learn about the planets and their astrological signs, go check out that video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.